everyone, welcome to Rev Sports. I am Shorjani Chatterjee, your host for the post-match live. Joining me today is Shamik Chakraborty, Bharat Ramraj and Vaibhav Tripathi. Now, Shamik, when we were talking about RCB, you had mentioned that they would score 300 runs. Unfortunately, you were just 46 runs short of that. RCB batting first, it was Gujarat Titans who won the toss, and then RCB came into bat. They've scored 254 runs and, brilliant innings from the captain Rajat Patidar. But again, the credit also has to be given to the top order as well. Venkatesh Iyer, Virat Kohli, they provided RCB with the start. Then Devdutt Patikal with those innings. Then came in Krunal Pandya, Jitesh Sharma. So the batting unit of RCB looked complete today. And as well as the bowling. I mean, each and every bowler went out there and they performed, be it Jacob Duffy, be it Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, be it Josh Hazelwood, be it Rasik Salam, be it Krunal Pandya. Everybody was out there who performed for the team. Apart from this one player, Romario Shepherd. Again, that one over with 15 runs. And a lot of questions unanswered. But again, when I talk about GT, it was completely opposite of what RCB did today. None of the units of GT worked today, be it the batting, be it the bowling, be it their fielding. I mean, when we talk about the batting order also, I think none of the players stood up for their team apart from Rahul Tewatia and Joss Butler, who came in and scored those 29 runs. And then Rahul Tewatia put up a fight for Gujarat Titans, but it was not enough. And then even when we talk about their bowling, it was truly disappointing. Mohammad Siraj went in for 46 runs in those 3 overs that he bowled. Kagiso Rabada was also expensive. Prasidh Krishna was extremely expensive. So I think that the pace attack that we were, praising so much failed today. So Shamik, first things first. We usually talk about the batting unit of RCB, and definitely this IPL, we've talked a lot about the batters. But I think today's, after today's match, after today's one-sided match, we have to talk about the bowling unit of RCB first. First things first, how good was Jacob Duffy?
This is a bit of a googly short journey because I thought I was preparing myself to talk about Gujarat Titans and this how this game has been a litany of mistakes for them. It has been a litany of mistakes. Coming to Jacob Duffy, but Jacob Duffy was bowling with 54 runs on the board. He barely had any pressure. So, and also this Sai Sudarshan's hit wicket was a bit unfortunate. He started off very well. He was looking to be in very good touch. It was the bat slipped out of his hand, and it can happen. Roy Fredericks got out hit wicket in the 1975 World Cup final. He hooked Dennis Lilly over the deep fine leg boundary for a six, but he slipped, and he was not wearing his spikes. He was wearing a scrape sole, and he slipped, and he was hit wicket. And when he came to the dressing room, Clive Lloyd, West Indies captain, gave him a dressing down instead of sympathizing with him. He said, "You don't know those days it used to be a day game, not a night game. And England, even in June, it can be a nippy, a bit of dew, the moisture. That early morning in England, it is always slippery, and you shouldn't have worn this prep sole." So instead of sympathizing with him, Clive Lloyd gave him a dressing down. This can happen. It's because his palm is so sweaty, it might. But once again, this is and Jacob Duffy. The most impressive of them was Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. The most in this pitch, the way he bowled. But this litany of mistakes started with playing Kulwant Kejrolia. Why on earth didn't they play Arshad Khan? Was he injured? I don't know. Kulwant Kejrolia playing an IPL eliminator was a joke. Then once again, Kagiso Rabada of all people, and he has a very safe pair of hands. Kagiso Rabada dropping that catch, then that was also, and then this batting implosion. It has a litany of mistakes from Gujarat Titans. I don't know how quickly they can bounce back from there, but for RCB, it looks like they have one hand on the cup.
Definitely. And, even when you were talking about, the bowlers out there and bowling and Kulwant's playing, I remember when you were reading out the playing 11, Vaibhav, when he was listening to it, his eyes almost popped out the moment you mentioned Kulwant's name in the playing 11 in the pre-match show. But, okay, we will talk about Gujarat Titans. But before that, Bharat, you've been covering the games of RCB. You've covered their live matches. You've been to the Chinnaswamy Stadium. My first question to you is, Devdutt Padikkal. Again, we've spoken about his inclusion in the team, we've spoken about his impact. Definitely, we will talk about Rajat Patidar, but my question to you is how important was those 30 runs from Devdutt Padikkal today?
Yeah, it was quite important. Obviously, Venkatesh Iyer also gave I won't say great start, but it was a kind of a cameo that helped Virat Kohli to play himself in, and then obviously Padikkal scored those runs. He has been very important for the RCB right through the season. Someone I think he's come up by leaps and bounds in limited overs cricket. I'm still not very sure about his test game. Let me say that, but in limited overs cricket, he's come up by leaps and bounds. Even in domestic cricket, in the Vijay Hazare Trophy, he was scoring mountains and mountains of runs. So you expected him to do well in the IPL, but not so well, because I think he's taken his game to another level in the world of IPL, because he's coming down the track to fast bowlers. That is something that he was not doing before. Maybe he took it from Kohli's book. Kohli is someone who looks to come down the track to fast bowlers, and Padikkal also is now trying to do that. So it's great to see. But finally, the man of the moment was Rajat Patidar, someone even in the 2016, even during the 2016 Ranji Trophy season, when he absolutely smashed Mohammad Shami. It seemed like Rajat Patidar is one of the best looking batters going around in the Indian domestic cricket. Obviously, I'm thinking about shot making here. And in 2025-26, even when Rajat Patidar went through a bad patch in domestic cricket, he was not doing well for Madhya Pradesh. Even then, he looked like one of the best shot makers going around. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him when he played Test cricket. I think he didn't play his natural game. If he had played his natural game, he might have done better. Yeah, although on the other hand, Gujarat Titans, I think, would have nightmares over those two drop catches in a single over. I think that is what basically basically cost them the game. I think the game ended right there. If you drop Rajat Patidar twice in a single over, I think it is basically done and dusted.
Definitely, and Bharat did mention about Rajat Patidar, but Vaibhav, I think the kind of innings that he played and the way that he helped his team score those crucial 254 runs. I think we have to ask a separate question on him. So Vaibhav, I have two questions to ask you. One, how good was Rajat Patidar today? And the second question, how important is someone like a Krunal Pandya in the team?
See, Rajat Patidar, according to me, is the most dangerous batter that RCB has, the captain, because of his strike, the way he takes on the bowlers. Even I remember one of his innings that he played at the Wankhede earlier this season, he scored a half century in no real time. He was very close to breaking a record also of fastest 50 there for RCB. So, Rajat Patidar has always been that kind of batter. He doesn't waste deliveries. And whenever he gets, and the best thing is, he has a very solid foundation. The six that he hit in front of the square to a back of lane delivery, that tells you how good a batter Rajat Patidar is.
I think Vaibhav has got a power cut. I
Yeah,
think
I
he
think
has got a power
he
cut.
has a power cut. He's a power cut.
Uh,
But Shamik, if you would you want to continue on behalf of Vaibhav?
Regarding Rajat Patidar,
Yes.
fantastic innings, especially that square drive he played of Rabada, I guess, over point. I mean, short of the season across formats. What a shot! Fantastic innings. And see, Rajat Patidar has always been a very good player. He got two test matches, and two test matches are a very small sample size to judge someone. In one of those innings, he got out on, once again an unfortunate dismissal. He played a poor defensive shot. The ball rolled back onto the stumps. So it was a bit of a misfortune also. And obviously, you would like to see him in the Indian T20 squad. But the question is, where is the vacancy? Because unless you are rotating, if you are rotating, then that's fine. If you are rotating, he will definitely get into that squad. But unless when you have all your first 11 available, where do you fit him in? Because you cannot drop Tilak Verma. Yeah, that would be preposterous. You absolutely cannot drop Tilak Verma. Surya Kumar Yadav is the captain, and uh, until England tour, he is safe. After that, if he doesn't score runs, selectors might think about it. But at least until England tour, he is safe. So where is the after Hardik Pandya? I mean, you look at that. You look at that squad. There is no vacancy. Unfortunately, that is one of the downsides of the embarrassment of riches. But sooner, I think, as because even in the ODI side, you can think about. Although once again, where do you fit him in? That is once again the downside of the embarrassment of riches. But more than the ODI is going ahead, the selectors are expected to rotate in the T20I squad because T20Is at the moment are not a priority. The next World Cup is 2028, and there is enough time. Also, LA Olympics is 2028. The top priorities of this Test Championship, World Test Championship, the ongoing cycle, and the 50 over format, which is next year. So I think going ahead, the selectors will rotate, and Rajat Patidar absolutely deserves a chance in India's T20 squad. Absolutely deserves a chance. The way he has been playing. If you don't reward performances in domestic cricket, then that is not fair. So believe he should be playing, and I believe he will be playing sooner rather than later.
Definitely. Bharat, I was asking Vaibhav about Krunal Pandya as well, and over here, Devayan Majumdar is also commenting saying that, do you think Krunal Pandya might get an Indian T20 call up this year, or he still remains at that domestic league star? Your thoughts?
Yeah, they can take a gamble. See, Krunal Pandya is someone who throws the kitchen sink at the batsman. I think that's his greatest strength as a bowler. Start with as a bowler. Obviously, he can bat as well. He's someone who can bowl those bouncers at 120 kilometers per hour. I've seen one bouncer which was measured at 115 kilometers per hour. I'm not saying the speed guns in the IPL are always right, but he can do that. He can bowl with a very round arm action. He can occasionally toss it up. He's someone who tries different things. I guess that is the way to go in modern day T20 cricket, where a batter is trying to hit every ball for a six, and then obviously he's a very gritty batsman. He's someone who doesn't look like what can I say? He doesn't look like some top. It doesn't look like one of those middle order batters or a top five batter, but still is somehow able to score some runs. I think that is a testament to his grit. It is resilience because I think he kind of punches above his weight as a bowler and as well as a batsman. Today as well, he was coming down the track, sometimes flat batting those fast bowlers down the ground. It looked ungainly, but it was effective. So they can definitely try him. But I guess with Aksar Patil in the ranks, I don't think there is any place as far as T20 cricket is concerned because I think whatever Krunal Pandya perhaps does, Aksar Patil at his best. In T20Is, I'm talking about, yes, in the world of IPL, he didn't exactly have the best of IPLs, but Aksar Patil is a better spinner, although Krunal Pandya's fans might be hit back at me by saying that currently Krunal Pandya is a better batsman, but I would still take someone like Aksar Patil in a T20I setup. Maybe as a backup spinner, you can come into the equation. But even then, if you look at the second spinner that India have, it is Varun Chakravarti. So it's tough to get into that setup. Just tells you something about the kind of competition that is out there as far as Limido's cricket is concerned. But I really like him as a cricketer for his resilience, for his grit, and for someone who basically throws the kitchen sink at the batsman. Everything that he has in his armor, he throws it at the batsman. I think that is his greatest strength.
Definitely. So, while we're talking about RCB, we will definitely move on to Gujarat Titans and talk about them. But before that, people have been commenting about Bhuvaneshwar Kumar as well. So, I'll go to Shamik with that. Vaibhav over here says that Bhuvaneshwar nailing Gill's stump was the peak moment today. And then we have another comment which says that congrats to Bhuvaneshwar in advance for the Indian team call up. Shamik, your thoughts on Bhuvaneshwar Kumar today
I
and
think
how exceptional he has been?
he has always been a champion bowler. I have been watching him since his Ranji Trophy days, when he got Sachin Tendulkar out. So I have been watching him, and I have always been a big fan of Bhuvneshwar Kumar. He's a very very cerebral fast bowler. I mean, he does it in his brain. It is execution is obviously you have to have that execution, but it is about the brain and the way he bowls. And on this, see, you can see the quality. You can say, suppose you see someone like Prashit Krishna bowling on that wicket and being taken to the cleaners for fun, and on the same pitch, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar is bowling, and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar is Bhuvanesh Kumar is not a 140 kilometer per fast bowler, for example. But it is about his brain, the way he maneuvers. He maneuvers the seam, the way he shows his variety, and the way he plays into the mind of the opposition batsman. Yes, but unfortunately, he's 36, and I don't think the selectors are looking back. If that would have been the case, then I don't know, because um, it is they have picked the squad for the ODIs, and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar was never in the ODIs reckoning. The next two series are in England and Ireland and England, where the ball will nip around. Will there be a second wind? But there is a catch. So, similar experiments in the past haven't yielded results. If you remember, the the erstwhile selection committee, they brought back Dinesh Karthik to the Indian team fold based on their performances in IPL, but that didn't work out. There have been instances. Ajinkya Rahane was brought back basis the performance or his performance in the IPL. So international cricket is a different ball game. So it is for the selectors to decide. But meanwhile, enjoy the way he has been bowling, and he is unadulterated quality. He is absolutely unadulterated quality. It has always been a joy to watch him bowl.
Definitely. But before we move on to GT, last question to Bharat about RCB. Rasik Salam today, how good was he? Because bowling those 3 overs, taking those 2 wickets, and then we saw in the first over it was a maiden wicket. I mean, two wickets, and he did not give any runs. It was exceptional. So, how good has he been throughout the tournament since you have observed RCB so closely?
Yeah, he's maximized his potential. That is what I would say. He may not be the greatest fast bowler, pace bowler going around, but still, he's someone who is, I think, maximized his talent. He does bowl those Yorkers really well in the slog overs. He has that back of the hand slower one, which is used well, which is he used it well at the Chinnaswamy Stadium, because at the Chinnaswamy Stadium, occasionally the tracks can get really flat. There, he has used his variations really well, and is someone I think improved his new ball skills. That is something you have to commend him, or you have to shower praises at him, because he has improved his new ball skills as well. Maybe he has watched Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. Because of that, he's able to get that little more nip of the surface. I don't think he used to get it when he would play even for Jammu and Kashmir all those years ago. When I first watched him, he was not getting that kind of movement off the surface with the new ball. So I think he's improved over a lot of aspects. Maybe it is because of watching Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. Maybe it is because of working with Onka Salvi, perhaps the most underrated bowling coach going around in the world of IPL. So it could be a variety of reasons. It could be also because he has that confidence now in his abilities. Last season he was going for runs. In a couple of matches he went for runs, and then he got dropped, and they brought in Yash Tayal, who himself obviously did well during that season. So a lot of credit to him, a lot of credit to the management for backing him, because I remember the first practice session that I watched on March 20th or March 21st. They were not just giving a long spell to Rasik Salam in practice sessions, but they were also giving a long spell to Mangesh Yadav, the left arm bowler, because perhaps they were thinking Yash Tayal was a left armer. Now we also need another left armer, but somewhere they ended up backing the right horse, that is Rasik Salam, and credit to him for just deposing that kind of faith that was shown on him by the RCB setup.
Definitely. And if we talk about Gujarat Titans now, I think that the batting order completely collapsed today. And Shamik, I remember in the pre-match show we were talking about Shubman Gill, and you very, very happily mentioned that you were okay if you were being called his PR. So with regards to that, I have one question for you. We saw that he could not score any runs today. 7 balls he played, he only scored 2 runs, and there are people who've been commenting. So Fit Monk over here says that Gill in big matches, be it India or IPL, has been a failure. Your thoughts?
I mean, he has been saying this, and he has the numbers. Certain numbers, support this claim. I still have huge respect, and this is just one of, I think. I told you during pre-match, it is the matchup between Gill and Bhuvneshwar Kumar. I told you during pre-match, it is the matchup, and It was not Shubman Gill's day. It was not Titans day. But I think Shaurjani, um, we should look forward because happened this game? What happened in this game? This is already water under the bridge. I mean, you cannot rectify that. But they still have a second chance. They still live to fight another day, and that is the beauty of finishing in the top two. You still have a second bite at the cherry. What course correction they need to do in qualifier two? That is more important. First of all, will they carry the excess baggage of this defeat? It's a heavy defeat. It's a mauling, right? So will they carry the excess baggage of this defeat? I don't think so. Once again, in this format, it's Raat Gai, Baat Gai. It was not. It was not Gujarat Titans Day. Number one. Number two, squad selection. I think two changes, two changes in qualifier two have become imperative. One is that Kulwant Kejrolia has no business playing in a knockout game, and Arshad Khan should be brought back. And number two, Sai Kishore should replace Prashid Krishna. So these two changes should make, and I don't think they will carry the excess baggage because it's a new game. um, Shubman Gill. I will judge Shubman Gill after the next game. This is the first game. Let's see what happens. Anyone can have a bad day. Anyone can have a bad day, and they had a bad game. Gujarat Titans also. Lady Luck didn't go their way. Otherwise, Kagiso Rabada wouldn't have dropped that catch, or Sai Sudarshan couldn't have gotten out in that manner. So sometimes you need that bit of luck. That didn't go their way. No disrespect to RCB, a resounding victory, and they look like, as I've already said, they have one hand on the cup. There is only one, maybe as far as I'm concerned, there is only one antidote. I mean, the way they have been moving RCB, they have been moving like a freight train. How do you stop them? I think there is one antidote. I don't know if that would be applied. If that would be applied in the final at Motera.
Definitely. And Bharat, now that we're talking about Shubman Gill, there's another comment over here where Devain is saying that, sorry, this is the wrong comment. Yes. Devain over here is saying Shubman's bowling rotation needs improvement. Rashid Siraj ended bowling 3 overs only. So, Bharat, Shomik has described Shubman as a batter. Now, my question to you is your thoughts on Shubman as a captain today?
Well, I think it's just, in my humble opinion, nothing against the comment. I respect every comment. It's just a hindsight analysis because I think, see, I'll go back to the same point. See, at Dharamsala, it's high altitude, dimensions are quite small. So you have to be really razor sharp with your lines. So I would say it was more of a problem from their fast bowlers. They had the bowlers who got bounce, who would get bounce, but they erred in their lines a little bit, and that is enough at that ground because of the small dimensions, because of the high altitude. It just, I think, one of those shots that Rajat Patidar, perhaps it was Rajat Patidar only, the bottom hand came off his handle and it still flew away, I think, over the cover region for a six. Not the shot that he played against Goodland Delry. I'm thinking about the other shot that he played maybe over square of the wicket. So that tells something about the conditions there, the high altitude, the ball just travels. So you have to be really good with your control. If you err a little bit, then you will travel. I think that's what happened. So I would put the blame on the bowlers and also the fielding because those two catches that were dropped off Prasidh Krishna's bowling, Rajat Patidar was on 15 or 20 in a single over. I think basically the match ended there. You can't drop Rajat Patidar twice in a single over. That too in pretty good conditions for batting. When he's looking in decent touch, he will take the game away from your grasp. And I think the match ended right there. So I won't really comment on Shubman Gill's captaincy here because Kagiso Rabada has been taking a lot of wickets up front. So that is why they trusted him to bowl that way because he's not been bowling that well in the slog overs, even when playing for South Africa. And even someone like Siraj likes to bowl up front. So see, I'm not someone would come here and say, knowing that Shubman Gill gets a lot of hate from 6 or 7 fan clubs. Someone might come and say that I'm doing PR for Shubman Gill. I'm not any great fan of Shubman Gill. But having said that, I won't really go after his captaincy today, or for the matter, his batting, because 250 runs, 255 runs, when you're chasing that kind of a score, the pressure on you is the pressure on you is really huge, and you expect someone to get out early while trying to play shots. You saw that with Jose Butler as well. Tried to play a lot of shots and then got out against Rasik Salam, I guess. These things happen. And as same thing I would say with his captaincy, I would say it was more about their fielding efforts, a lot of misfields, those two drop catches. And as I noted, in those conditions, if your control is slightly bad, then you will travel for a lot of runs because of the high altitudes, because of those small dimensions.
Shorjani, as regards Shubman Gill, he made the mistakes at the toss and before that at the team selection. In terms of his bowling rotation, I'm not reading too much into it. First of all, he played the wrong guy, the wrong left arm seamer. Number one, that is to start with. I don't think Sai Kishore. I will give him the benefit of the doubt because given the small boundary, and you have been playing the bat, you have been playing into the ball. The ball is going into the TNA. So Sai Kishore, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt at this venue. But winning the toss and choosing to field, that was also, and due factor played havoc on his mind. But if, in big matches, the golden rule is you win the toss and you bat first. Simple. You put runs on the board. If Gujarat Titans are batting, hypothetically, you are batting first, maybe Shubman Gill wouldn't have been that desperate. He could have taken his time the way he builds his innings. He could have done that. Maybe Josh Butler could have built his innings the way he does it. So from that point of view, and all said and done, bowling has been your strength. Bowling has been your strength. So if you could have scored 210, 220, you could have always backed your bowlers to defend that. So I think it was a defensive call from Shubman Gill at the toss, and he paid a price. But thankfully, there is a second chance.
Definitely. And on that note, Vaibhav is back with us. And Vaibhav, before you get angry, I have this one comment with which I want to welcome you. It's a joke, so don't take offense. But over here, Fitmonk is saying how the tables have turned now. RCB plays for winning the trophy, and CSK MI plays for winning hearts. Now, before Vaibhav gets frustrated and gets into a monologue, justifying he's not a CSK fan and he's an MS Dhoni fan, I would
yeah. Shorjani, let Vaibhav start this, and I will have my opinion on this also.
No, but I wanted to welcome him with this comment. I wanted to welcome him with this comment and then move on to RCB.
Absolutely. But Vaibhav, let him speak on this, and then I'll chip in.
See, it doesn't really matter to what people say, whether they'll see me as a fan or no. I know that ever since I've been into this profession, I've always tried to justify my stand. If CSK is not playing good, I will write about them. I have written so many stuff about MS Dhoni not doing good. I have written so many articles against him, even though there is no bigger fan of MS than me. It's not about me being fanboy of a player or a team. It's me being justifying my position in the team in which I am. So I think that becomes, and the frustration comes where when people of my team keep tagging me with the same level of being a fanboy. I'm not a fanboy anymore. It doesn't. People cry about that loss to Australia. I don't. I have no whatsoever what wrench feelings or something about why I never cry about Australia winning, Travis Head playing that. No. I was very neutral. I didn't cry. I never cry about that loss because I have seen the worst. So I see, being a fanboy and being a journalist are two different things. When you are a journalist, you have to be neutral, completely unbiased. Not a fanboy, not of an Indian cricket team, not of a CSK, not any IPL franchise. So I will keep it there. But yes, coming to match, I think the whole blame should be taken by Shubman Gill, because it's not just one way. It's not just this match. It's a repeated pattern in which he is getting dismissed. It's very easy. He will always be a victim of an incoming deliveries. Look at the 2021 Test series against New Zealand. Kyle Jamieson first came to Indian shores, and then what happened? He was getting the ball to come back in, and then Shubman Gill was getting out in a similar fashion. Gap between bat and pad. Incoming deliveries have been troubling him for the last 4 years. And what Shubman Gill has done about it? Nothing. He's always getting out to incoming deliveries. And a player of his class, if he's getting out in a similar way, again, we have been saying this about Virat Kohli as well. Virat Kohli getting out, caught behind, chasing a wide delivery. It is a pattern. It is a recurring pattern with him. For Shubman Gill, it is the same since last 4 years. He has struggled incoming deliveries. He has not find a way against it. And see, in red ball cricket, you may get found out, but in white ball cricket also, if it is the same pattern is getting repeated, then it is a problem. And you don't expect that from a Shubman Gill. It's very easy to find his weakness. People will come, they will bowl that in swinger, try to create a gap between bat and pad, and he will get out. I think Shubman Gill now there has to be a time where he must realize where his weakness is and how he can, get better of it, get better, because there are people who have worked on in their weakness and come good. Shubman Gill hasn't been able to do that against incoming deliveries and against. I think whoever made that point about rotating the bowlers, I think that was spot on, because I also thought that he could have been better. Obviously, fielding was a thing where they went wrong, and Shubman Gill admitted. But I think he should also admit the way he's been getting out. It's very frustrating to see a player of Shubman's caliber getting out in a same pattern. It's becoming repeating. It's becoming frustrating again. And the middle order again, I talked about it. Rahul Tewatia is not the problem. The problem is Rahul Tewatia not getting enough deliveries. This was the innings where he got the most deliveries in the entire season. Look what he did. He took apart Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Josh Hazelwood, hitting sweep shots of sixes. So that shows the quality of the batter. But how many deliveries you are giving to Rahul Tewatia, to a specialist batter? He's not playing as an all-rounder. He's playing as the capacity of a specialist batter. So I think these are the things that GT should do better in the next game. Otherwise, like the last season, I don't see them getting to the final if they continue to play like this. It's becoming a recurring pattern for them and Gill.
Last question to Bharat before we close the show. Vaibhav mentioned Rahul Tewatia, and we've been talking about him throughout. I mean, even in the pre-match show, we were talking about his form, and then Shomikda and Bharat, Shomikda and Vaibhav, they were telling us that they've not gotten enough opportunities to go out there and play. But today, I think was a good opportunity and a good outing for Rahul Tewatia. He went out there, scored those runs. Although it did not benefit his team, I mean, definitely the runs were too much on the board to chase, but definitely it did improve his confidence as a batter. Your thoughts, Bharat?
Yeah, but they should do it under pressure. That is when you will say, yeah, well done to Rahul Tewatia. See, he's got a lot of opportunities over a period of time. Yes, there was a time when he was playing for Rajasthan Royals. He played some plucky knocks, but it has been a long time since I have seen Rahul Tewatia coming up with those cameos like 20s, 30s. Yes, it was a good knock for him. It would have boosted his confidence, but obviously at that time the game was well and truly over. So maybe in the next match, if he gets another opportunity, this particular knock would help him because his confidence would have been boosted. It would have acted as a kind of tonic for him. Hopefully, next in the next game as well, if he gets a chance, will go and do well. But we can say that Rahul Tewatia is doing well for Gujarat Titans only when he does well under pressure, because they have given him a lot of opportunities, and at some point of time he has to do it on a consistent basis, so that he can repose the faith that has been shown on him by the Gujarat Titans management.
On that note, we are going to end the post-match show today. We'll be back tomorrow again for the coverage between RR and SRH. So till then, keep on watching Rev Sports. Please like, share, and subscribe. And thank you to all the panelists for joining. We'll be back tomorrow.